Hi, and welcome back to Grassroots Crypto, where I like to teach people about crypto. And in this video, I'll be doing my March update. If you want to catch up with what's been happening previous to March, then you can have a look at my previous videos here as well as here. As always, we'll be looking back to see what's happened since my last video, which is about mid-February, and then we'll be looking forward to see what's coming up. A lot to get through, so let's get started. So first, looking back, we had the Lazarus hack. About $1.4 billion was stolen from Bybit, apparently from the Lazarus group, and a fair bit of that moved through THORChain. So here's a website that has the details of the Bybit hack. So about $1.18 billion was swapped using THORChain from Ethereum to Bitcoin, and other exchanges were used as well. And everything's fully traceable within THORChain and these exchanges here, like Maya. So forget about this stuff you've seen about THORChain laundering funds or whatevs, because everything's traceable and allows the output of the Bitcoin to be traced. The fact that the Lazarus or these funds were being able to use through THORChain caused a lot of debates. Obviously, THORChain being a fully decentralized protocol controlled by the nodes. There's not really a way to impose what's believed to be hacked or malicious funds, like filtering and stuff like that on there. That created a lot of debate, and the Ethereum chain was shut down for a bit. However, nodes did reverse that decision to allow the exchange of Ethereum and Bitcoin, because obviously normal users were getting impacted with that. So there's some tools I'll talk about later and some discussion, but that was the main event within THORChain. And the movement of the funds, allowing some record volumes over $1 billion in a day to move through THORChain. Next up, Pluto left. We've got here, he's moved on from THORChain. He's not going to contribute to THORChain. This may or might not have anything to do with nodes voting to continue the Ethereum chain. But either way, he put out a statement, and you can read it here. Wish Pluto the best of luck. V3.3.0 was released. I did cover the details of this in my last video, but you can go and have a look here. It essentially had all the app layer changes, the 3 app layer changes, and that was required for the Rujira protocol to go live. We're at 3.3.2, but there's been nothing significant in these little minor releases worth talking about. Rujira is live, so you can go to Rujira Swap and have a look at the swap stuff. However, the merge is currently not live yet, and I'll talk about the merge as in merging your Kujira to Rujira token a little bit later. But Rujira is running on top of THORChain. There are contracts there, and that's pretty cool. There have been some spaces and updates, as well as a THORFi unwind article. So I think these 2 spaces are the latest since I did my last video. And then the THORFi unwind article was released, which is, I guess, better late than never. And you can read all about it here. It goes through the details, as well as a bit more of an update on Proposal 6 and the implementation details. However, I'll go through that in more detail later on in this video. So as an update for the Proposal 6 implementation, we have these 2 parts here are from the THORFi unwind article, and it goes through, there's in the next release, we'll propose hopefully in the next release, we're going to have these 2 merge requests. And one is going to stop liquidity providers adding to some of the gas pools, so that way the current LPs don't get or can share in the upside. This is what I talked about in my last video, and this one here being the implementation details of the TCY. There's also some more information here that I've been getting off Discord. So there's some other merge requests going on. These 2 in the Maya repository, and then this one here, which I think is that one over there, which is in the THORChain repository. There are some dependencies and stuff going on as well that I picked up a couple of days ago. I guess the main takeaway point here is a couple of things. That one, this has been worked on. There's like 3-4 different people being worked on, and 2, it's been targeted for the next release. It's really being pushed at the moment to get into V3.4.0. So it's underway. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of stuff in play with different PRs being dependency on the other ones, but it is happening and being pushed to be implemented. There's a release schedule that was put out a couple of a few days ago. And then this is the 3.4.0, which is where all the TCY stuff is targeted. But there are different cutoffs now, so this provides a predictable release schedule for the THORNode releases. And if it can't make this one, which is the current hope for TCY, then it'll obviously drop into that one, and they have set release dates as well. So I really like this to get some more predictability and stuff around the process. Next, Chad is back, and Chad put something on Discord here. Really good to see Chad Barraford back and contributing within THORChain. Exciting times, get an OG back. Let me know what you think. He's been posting on Twitter as well about what needs to happen within THORChain. As you can see here, I'll put a link in the description below and you can read all the replies and that type of thing. Next, I wanted to talk about the incentive pendulum and the network status. Really, we have the incentive pendulum over here that's saying that, things are kind of normal and that the node operators are earning a little bit more than the liquidity providers. So that's the incentive pendulum in its current implementation. Then we have the TVL caps, and this is done in a number of places, but most importantly, the TVL check is implemented when you add a secured asset, which is required in order to use Rujira, and that's currently saying that the network is underbonded. Here, at the time I took this yesterday, by about 4 million. I think it's now 750,000, like now churn's happened. Either way, it's underbonded. You can't add any secured assets, you can't add LP, you can't really do anything. So there's a discrepancy between what the incentive pendulum is saying and what the liquidity cap is. So that's why there isn't, whilst the network over here, this part says it's underbonded, the incentive pendulum saying everything's fine. So there's a lot of discussion regarding this discrepancy and what changes need to be made so that there can be some degree of alignment between these liquidity cap checks here that control the addition of liquidity into the pool or into the vaults, and then the incentive pendulum that controls the incentive of where the liquidity needs to go. I'll keep you updated on that, and then I'll probably go into more detail when I do a dedicated video on the incentive pendulum. Next, here's the bond campaign to raise the bonds because these liquidity caps are in place to make this a positive number. So you can see Kenton's got this bit of description. You'll see this hash raise the bonds. If you remember the old days, raise the caps. Now there's a bit of a new meme, raise the bonds. So if you have any any rune that you want to get some APY on it, you can go give it to a node operator. They can bond that for you, and then you can become a bond provider in order to raise the bond, and then that's going to assist with the launch of the Rujira network. When it gets into full swing. Lastly, whilst talking about Rujira, we have an update here that talks about the merge, the token generation event, the launch of the products, and all this type of stuff. So feel free to have a read of this to get more Ruji information. Looking forward, I'm going to go through the release. Then we're going to go through what we thought the VULT launch was going to happen today, but that got moved, as well as just some couple of other things. So here's the 3.4.0 release. There's a bunch of stuff in here. So this stuff is merged and completed. This stuff's a work in progress. The TCY MR hasn't got a release yet, but this is the plan, talking to the developers. And if we go through some of the more interesting ones, first we have XRP chain. So XRP is due to be added to THORChain in the next release. And then that would be the date. It's actually pretty cool. Next we have the Rujira merge contract, and that's having like a specific permission from a specific address. And then that is the dependency for the merge contract here. So we have another feature here, node operator rotation, which essentially allows you, I think, to hand keys over from one person to another without then doing a full destroy and recreation. You can read about it here. This is the issue. So that's coming. If you're a node operator, you might find that useful. We've gone through the proposal 6 implementation. Like I said, it's due to be in this one. This is what's been said in Discord, but it's not actually there. Next is the VULT launch. That was due to go today or tonight my time, but then that got moved to, I think, the 16th, 15th of April, and then there's apparently a sex listing on the 16th of April. You can read all about it here. I just thought I'd let everyone know, if you really like VULTisig, then here's some information, and that's what's coming up. Lastly, I want to talk about two screening MRs. This goes back to the Lazarus hack, and two different ways of people kind of thinking about it. So here's the first one, and this one is a way to do, like, get the list from Bybit and then implement that somehow into THORChain, and then, like, if there's a transaction that originates from someone on that list, then obviously it's going to, like, block and not do anything and not go through THORChain. Now, if you have a read of this kind of starts to give you an idea about the problems about lists. So ones, if you accidentally get on that list, who's the list maintainer or the blacklist maintainer, and then what would be worse is that you might need KYC to get yourself off the list, and then more dangerously would be that if an arbitrager somehow get on that list, that would be very bad for the network. So lists, personally, as I feel, are not a good way of going about this, because it sounds good at the start, but it can turn very bad and have a lot of bad consequences down the track. Then another implementation is a Bifrost user transactions. So Bifrost is, inside of Bifrost kind of is all the chain clients, and that's what does all the observations and stuff. And then that could flag a transaction to say it's bad or it's not bad. We can approve or deny a transaction, and it flags it then for further action. This is ongoing. It's not actually implemented or anything. Of course, that would probably come through a node vote. Probably some things to work out. Not saying these are going to get in. Not saying that these are right. Not saying I agree with them. I just wanted to bring them to your attention that there's some stuff around the idea of trying to somehow censor, block, curate in some ways these transactions that go through THORChain, whether you agree with that or not. Personally, I don't agree with that. I think it should be neutral. But these are the things that are underway in order to implement something like that. And I guess we just have to track, and time will tell about how these go. So that's the video. I hope you found that useful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Put any comments, questions, queries in the comment section below. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.